Bladesmiths, congratulations. You made it through a really brutal round of testing, and now here you are, that much closer to being Forged in Fire champions. Well, now we're sending you back to your home forge just to recreate this iconic weapon. You ready to see what it is?
Oh, yeah.
The 9-ring broadsword. Good luck, Bladesmiths. We'll see you in 4 days.
Thank you. Good luck.
It's day one here at the home forge. I don't really have much experience making something this big or this wide. Plan for today is I got to get the end of the sword drawn out quite a ways. I'm going to use 1080 steel. Nice big heavy bar of it. 1080, nice hard steel that's forgiving for heat treating in an open forge. Let her start warming up. I'm doing most of the work on the press. My plan is just to kind of get it worked out a little bit here. Just trying to break that down and spread it out. Heat her back up. Has to be a minimum of 2.5, 4 inches from the tip, so I'm gonna go for 3. That way I got a little bit of movement to do any tweaks I need to after heat treat. I'm halfway there, maybe. Yeah, tip's coming right in there now. Starting to take shape of a sword. That's it for day one.
We are my home forge. I start forging the blade today, and I'm looking to have it fully forged, hopefully midday tomorrow, to where I can start doing some grinding. My biggest concern with this blade is heat treat. I would really hate to have to start over again at the end of day 2.
I've got a lot of meat in this thing that needs to be thinned out.
Fortunately, I have a power hammer that's going to help a lot with making that happen.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
All of a sudden, my power hammer decides it doesn't want to play anymore. It stops working.
That sucks.
So in between heats, now I'm trying to rewire my power hammer.
All right, well, that ain't working.
Finally get the switch back together. Ta-da! It's alive! So I'm working on the blade and drawing it out, and I notice there's a crack in the blade. And there's no saving this.
Yeah, it's junk.
So on my backup steel is 01.
It is a tool steel, but it's not a good steel for swords. Hopefully I can temper it right and it'll still hold together through the testing.
It's day 2 for me today. I'm gonna go ahead and take some of this 3/16 rod and a little scrolling jig and try to set up some like 1.5 rings. I'm gonna hot cut them off one at a time. Once they get attached on the sword, then I'll probably just give them a little TIG weld to hold them together on there. We're getting ready to try to drill the holes for the rings. Could have possibly got too hard in the forging. Find out here in a second. Looks like it's drilling like butter. First 2 holes drilled, just fine. That's harder. I was hoping they would drill easy. That's what I was afraid of. It can't be a 9-ring sword without 9 holes for the rings to go in. Feeling the clock now. It's not soft. I'm gonna heat the spine of it up with the torch and try to just draw it back, and hopefully it'll be soft enough that I can get those last 7 holes punched through it. If this doesn't work, I'm screwed. I'd hate to start forging again.
Still a heck of a lot of work to do. So it's critical that I really hit the heat treat tonight.
If it breaks, if it cracks, if it does anything other than quenches hard and straight, I'm done. I have no backups anymore.
We've got a hard blade. It's straight.
So as I start profiling the blade more, all of a sudden I notice something's gone wrong. Again, got a crack in the blade. I have no more steel to work with.
All right, so how do I fix that?
I decided to just put scallops in between all of the eyelets for the rings and hopefully grind far enough down to where I'm beyond where the crack is.
No more crack. Doesn't look like the picture, but
Kind of like it, to tell you the truth.
Got some sweet tea. Day 4, finally punched through the last hole, so now we got a 9-hole broadsword. Got the sword quenched yesterday, but I'm still under the gun. Time to get all these rings welded on here. That's right. They're on there. I'm gonna use a camo-colored paracord to do the wrap. And it gives enough grip and thickness to the handle. Thing's beastly. I'm finished. It's sharp. It's an instrument of death. It's a wild thing. The thing looks wicked.
First thing I'm getting after is the rings. I'm going with 1/8" mild steel. I created a jig a while back for bending this kind of stuff. You know, gonna put it in the jig, bend them around until they're pretty symmetrical and pretty even. Yeah, not too bad. So all I have left to do is get these rings welded in place. Boy, that looks like it just doesn't want to weld together very well. I mean, it starts to melt, it starts to do other things. Damn it. But finally, blade's finished. 9-ring broadsword, brother. I love this thing. I'd like to keep it put on my wall, but I'd rather have 10 grand.
Bladesmiths, you have our gratitude. Gentlemen, your swords look magnificent, but are they deadly? To find that out, we will take your swords and deliver some killing blows on this pig carcass. It's all about the kill in this particular test. Burton, you are up first. Are you ready, sir?
Yes, sir.
Let's do this.
Pretty much what could go wrong is the blade breaks or it's not sharp enough to cut what it's supposed to cut. See how it holds up. Well, there it went.
Goodness, look at that.
All right, Burton, first up, what I love about this blade was the balance, the way I was able to move with the blade everywhere. Now let's talk about the breakage. Okay, so the break happened right there where the ring was attached. You can see it's really not a bad coarse cruncher you have there. It could be finer, but rings, when you're digging into that, could cause stress risers. And it broke right there where the ring was.
Well, gentlemen, the fight's not over because Mike, your blade still has to survive 9 strikes on its kill test target. Good luck, gentlemen. Doug?
Burton's blade broke right at one of the holes. I have them same holes in there. Plus, on my spine, I've already had 2 cracks. I'm terrified it's gonna break. Oh, the heart's starting to flutter a little bit.
Good job, bro.
Burton, unfortunately, your blade broke and can no longer continue with testing. And for that reason, I have to dismiss you from the forge. Dude, good job, brother.
I appreciate it, man.
Sucks.
Damn, man. Gorgeous weapon, huh?
Thank you, man. Seeing my blade break, it's a disappointment. You know, when you make it to round 3, you want to win. You know, the 9 holes burnt through 4 drill bits doing them. So somewhere through there, I probably was given a little too much pressure and caused the stress riser to run down that blade. That was enough to cause a critical failure in that blade. I'm still proud of myself with what I've done. You know, it was way out of my wheelhouse. What's next for me is not swords, especially any 9-ring swords. That's for damn sure.
Mike, congratulations. The strength and integrity of your blade has made you a Forged in Fire champion, and that's a title that comes with a check for $10,000. Good job, brother.
I won Forged in Fire. Holy crap, man.
Come on forward and shake our hands, my friend.
Thank you.
Good job, brother.
Thank you. With some of the things that went wrong in my home forge, I was really sure that that blade was going to break on me. Yeah, it's a happy dance. Do it.
Colton, Scott, in this competition, we were inspired by history's legends. Now we ask that you continue to be inspired by history's legends as we send you back to your home forge to make one of these. Excalibur! It's actually not Excalibur. The sword in the stone is a medieval broadsword. Good luck, bladesmiths. We'll see you in 4 days.
Today, I'm making a European broadsword. I'm going to do 2 types of twisted Damascus going opposite directions and a linear bar for the center. I am very happy to be back home. I know that I have all the proper tooling to do stuff very quickly, but I think it's going to be a very challenging competition. It's the end of day 1. I got the twisted Damascus done. I've got to cut them to size and then clean up the edges that I'm going to re-weld. That's where it's at right now.
I'm feeling pretty nervous going into the clinch, really hoping I don't get any warps or cracks. Oh, it's taking a warp. I'm really struggling here. I'm bending it, seeing if it will straighten. I'm heating it up with a torch and trying to drop water droplets on it to see if I can set it back into shape. I finally get this warp out by taking my pair of tongs and pushing down on the sword. That straightened it out a little bit. Trying to fix the warp really set me back, but tomorrow I'm going to come in with a fresh mind and see what I can get done.
Yesterday was really productive. I got the 3 bars of Damascus put together, forged out to a sword, and then I got it ground down. Today's most important thing is getting that heat treat done. If I can get it done early, I can focus on the handle for the rest of the build. It's pretty straight, and it definitely heat treated. I'm just gonna clamp it while it cools. I thought I had the heat treat right, but unfortunately, after I pull it out, it's got a nice warp in it. Oh. It looks like I might have to heat treat again. The one difference is I'm going to use my quench tank as my temperature. I'm going to get the oil up to the same temperature as I would the oven, to about 450 degrees, then hold my sword in it for at least 10 minutes so it gets a nice soak. Pull it out of the quench, and comes out almost perfect. All I have to do tomorrow is fit and finish, guard, handle, pommel.
The theme of day 3 is handles and guards. All that needs to be done is etching and sharpening on the blade. I'm going to acid etch the blade now, let it sit in there for a few minutes. So the top of the blade is not hardened as much as I would like it to be. I want to make sure that it's not going to take a bend or a set. It seems to have held up pretty well. So the last thing I need to do is the handle. It's the end of day 3. I have a finished blade. I got the guard fit up. The handle's shaped like I want it. All I have left to do is the pommel, and then it's done.
Beginning of day 4, I'm ready to get the sword finished. First, I need to get the holes drilled on the guard and the pommel. And that's all I need. It's looking pretty good. End of day 4, this broadsword is built, and I am ready to go have dinner with my wife.
All right, bladesmiths, welcome to the keel test. It's time to get medieval on your broadsword. I'm gonna take your weapons and deliver some slashes and blows on this ballistics dummy. Colton, you're up first. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Let's have fun.
I'm feeling confident about my sword, but I really don't know what could go wrong. I've never made a sword before.
Sharp.
All right, Colton, first up, I really appreciate the balance you have with this because it's easy to wield with forward slashes, backhands, and thrusting with it. Your edge is sharp. Now, your handle is just a little bit too tall for me in the sense of it's a wider here, but I can still get a good grip on it. And more importantly, this sword, with its balance, it will kill.
Thank you.
All right, Scott, your turn, sir. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's do this.
I'm ecstatic to see Doug playing with my sword because it's exciting to see what it can do to the human body, what it's built for.
All right, Scott, first up, that is beautiful to look at.
Thank you.
Now, the wire wrap does give me some kind of contours to hold on to. Every slice, or should I say chop, dug deep into this ballistics dummy. Overall, the kind of weapon and damage you can do with this, it will kill.
Thank you.
All right, gentlemen, it's time for the strength test. Now, to test the strength and overall construction of your blades, we have the battering ram chop. Colton, you're up first. You ready?
All right.
Okay.
I'm worried that my blade is almost too light. I made this blade for slicing, not chopping trees down.
Looks like you picked up a little more.
So, Colton, there's some definite issues in the heat treat. Right here at the guard, you picked up a bend, and it's not a warp. This sword is now bent. And also up here where the sword is the thinnest, right at the end of the fuller. It's a beautiful piece, but that's a major problem.
Oh, man. That's severe.
Do you feel like I could continue testing?
I wouldn't.
It's like a gun barrel that's already curved. I don't want to fire something like that. If it's that extreme, if it's here, it's one thing, but it's always starts at the handle.
Yeah, I mean, it's already failed, as far as I'm concerned.
I'm seeing the judges talking, and it's nerve-wracking.
All right, Colton, there's a problem with your blade. The judges have given your blade a vote of no confidence. In other words, it held together, but it's not safe to move forward in testing. That doesn't mean that you've lost this competition. Scott, your blade still has to hold up in this strength test. Dave?
I am very nervous. I am very, very nervous. I don't know how it's going to do. All I can do is trust that I built it correctly.
So right off, Scott, everything's solid and tight. All in all, I think you did a great job. Nicely done.
Thank you.
Colton, unfortunately for you, this means that your blade doesn't make the cut and you cannot be the Forged and Fire champion. For that reason, I'd like to invite you to shake our hands, shake Scott's hand, and then please leave the forge. Come on forward, my friend. How old are you?
18.
Hey, man, the world's yours.
I knew the bend could have possibly happened. He outperformed me, and that's okay with me. I can be outdone. Good job.
Thank you.
I might not have won Forged in Fire, but I have learned so much as a bladesmith, and I have grown as a person doing this competition.
Scott, congratulations. You are the Forged and Fire champion, and that is a title that comes with a check for $10,000. Good job, my friend.
Thank you.
Come on forward. Excellent.
Thank you. I won. My blade survived. I feel ecstatic, amazed, however you want to say. I hope that by doing this, I can go full-time bladesmithing.
The bladesmiths, welcome to the Forge. Gentlemen, the four of you are here to compete in a very unique spin in our bladesmithing competition that's going to test every aspect of your skills. When we get done here, the four of you are going to turn around and head directly back to your home forges, where each pair of smiths will be working together at your home forge to build an iconic weapon from history. Gentlemen, we want you to build this. The Scottish Broadsword.
The Scottish broadsword rose to prominence during the late 17th century. This intricate weapon features a long double-edged blade with a dual-purpose basket hilt, designed to protect the hand and to be used to punch an opponent in close-quarter combat. This weapon's profile and hilt are similar to the Scottish backsword featured in Season 7 on Forged in Fire, which proved to be a difficult build and ultimately a basket hilt that hurt the user, cost one of the smiths the competition.
Gentlemen, without further ado, good luck. We will see you in 4 days.
Good luck.
Good luck. Good luck.
Good luck.
I'm Josh Hardman, and I'm 18 years old from Colorado Springs, Colorado.
I'm Max Harder. I'm 18 years old, and I'm from Colorado Springs, Colorado.
I'm from Colorado. Our game plan is we're gonna split up the work evenly between us. He's gonna work on mostly the blade, and I'm gonna work mostly on the hilt.
I'm going to be doing a multi-bar twist Damascus with a solid 1085 wrap on the edge.
For the hilt, I'm going with a mild steel. That way it's easy to move, and I don't have to worry about it splitting or potentially cracking.
I've gone through my normalizing and thermocycles, so the next thing to do is quench. If this goes well, we'll have a blade that's very flexible, but also have a really strong edge.
All right.
One of the really nice things about working with a partner, especially on a sword, is when I pull it out of the oil, I can have Josh set it in the straightening jig for me, and that'll make it go a lot smoother. So now it's on to hand sanding.
Hand sanding is one of my least favorite parts of making blades, but
This is looking really good, so we'll just move on.
now it's time to etch. Whoa, look at that.
But it's probably one of the smoothest glue-ups we've ever done before.
Nice.
Blade turned out really, really good, so now we gotta test it.
Wow.
I'm Dan Lewis. My name's Tony Lewis, and we're brothers. We are definitely competitive. I mean, we're going to take this challenge and we're going to give it everything we've got, and we want to win.
We say Lewis's never lose. We win or we learn.
We learn.
And we're back in our home forge, and we're excited to get started. The blade is made out of 5160 spring steel. We're not doing any Damascus in the blade.
We haven't really quenched anything that long before.
The blade is just extremely heavy, and there's a lot of potential for it to bend, and so we're just constantly watching to make sure the blade's straight.
We got a straight blade. Looking good. When it comes time to the basket, I've been taking the lead on that and planning a little bit. I definitely think a little bit bigger is better in this case. We just don't want anyone to get hurt swinging that sword or be too tight or uncomfortable for the judge.
Focus is just getting the final apple seed edge to that blade. So it's sharp, but it's also can take a hit. So if it's hit against a shield or something like that, I know that that edge is gonna hold up.
So I think we got to start to incorporate some drill holes into the basket. It's going to take away some of the weight on the hilt.
Did the final glue up, put some final touches on the blade, and we're done. Didn't have a moment to sit down and rest, but it feels amazing to be done with it, and we feel like we got a pretty awesome sword.
All right, gentlemen, this is our dynamic strength test, the shield chop and foam tube slice. All right, Max, Josh, you're up first. Are you ready for this?
Ready.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just super excited. I'm really proud of what we made.
So, all right, Max, Josh, first off, what I really love is that pattern on the blade. That's just beautiful work. That's nicely done. You really didn't lose any edge. I mean, this test wasn't about what the sword did to the shield, but I certainly wouldn't want to be behind that thing. Your guard, I like this. It's kind of like that Mary Rose hilt, an early basket hilt. And I do like this hilt style, is it's really nice and smooth inside there, and your handle is a good shape. It's got a really nice fluted grip. And controlling this, I mean, I can cut all day with this thing. So, nicely done.
Thank you.
All right, Tony, Dan, you guys ready?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The home forge was a lot of hard work, but we feel good about the blade that we produced.
All right, so right off, scale-wise, it's a little on the wide side. You don't quite need that much room. You could have been probably a ½ inch tighter on either side, and it would have brought the scale down just a little bit. I like the design you put in there, it's great. Your edge, right here in the sweet spot, I can literally push my fingertip against that edge. It's just not very sharp right there. And I don't think it dulled because of the wooden shield. I don't think it took any damage there. So I'm just not sure that that one section was as sharp as it could have been. And I felt it in the cuts. But all in all, fine looking blade. It's got a good feel to it. So nicely done.
Thank you.
Bladesmiths, welcome to the dynamic sharpness test. I'm going to be taking your Scottish broadswords, bashing them into this sword, then cut this big carcass. Max, Josh, you're up first. Ready?
We're ready.
Okay.
All right, Josh, Max, your basket hilt fits my hand snugly, almost perfectly. Now, your edge, you got some chips on your blade here, but it didn't affect the cutting. Overall, the wieldability feels good, and your weapon, it will cut.
Thank you.
Tony, Dan, your turn. You ready?
Go ready.
Let's do this. Tony, Dan, let's talk about your Scottish broadsword here. When I picked it up, it's got a very nice balance to it. It's wieldable. It's slightly lighter than the other blade. Your handle construction is comfortable. Now, your edge. You have a stouter edge here, and when I was hitting on those swords, you have one roll on your blade, but your edge is sharp enough to cut the pig carcass, even on the stabbing. Overall, your weapon, it'll cut.
All right, gentlemen, all four of you should be extremely proud of your work. You brought back two beautiful swords that did perform well, and it made for a very difficult decision for our judges, but they did make a final decision. And the bladesmiths leaving the forge are Tony and Dan. Unfortunately, your blade did not make the cut, and Dave's gonna tell you why.
Tony, Dan, both blades are fantastic looking, and both blades took some damage, but basically this came down to performance. And in the end, your blade was just outcut, and that's why you're going home.
Understand.
Well, gentlemen, unfortunately, your time in this competition has ended. I'm gonna have to ask you to please step off the forge floor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, guys.
Good job, guys.
Good job. We're a little disappointed we didn't make it, but we're proud of what we did.
This has been an incredible time, absolute blast. And to be able to do this together, to experience this together as brothers has been pretty amazing. Obviously, knowing what we know now, we certainly would have changed that edge geometry a little bit. Max and Josh are excellent bladesmiths. I mean, one of them is going to be the Forged and Fire champion, and we're excited for him.